Okay, children, come back for my next class. I'll again continue with word problems on quadratic equation. Word problems on quadratic equation. Okay, I'm Anashima. I'm talking to you. In my earlier part 1, that is in my earlier class, I have solved some sums and showed to you. Now we will continue from there. Okay, so now today's first question. A plane left 30 minutes later than the scheduled time, and in order to reach its destination 1500 kilometer away 1500 kilometer away in time, it has to increase its speed by 250 kilometer per hour from its usual speed. Find its usual speed. Find its usual speed. So as usual, whatever is asked, that we have to assume as x. So here usual speed is asked. So let the usual speed be x kilometer per hour. Now, what is the thing given? What is the condition given in the question? And first it was original speed was x. Now in order to reach before time, that is it left 30 minutes later, so in order to maintain the speed, maintain the time, it has to increase its speed by 250 kilometer per hour. So increased speed is how much? X plus 250 kilometer per hour. Now the plane left 30 minutes later than the scheduled time. So earlier, if the time taken by the train with the original speed would have been 1500, that is the distance, upon speed, that is x. Original speed is x. So original time taken will be original time taken would have been 1500, that is the distance, upon speed, that is x. Okay, hours. And with the increased speed, so the new time taken with the increased speed will be 1500 upon x plus 250 hours. Now the difference between these two will be 30 minutes. Why? Because 30 minutes later it started, 30 minutes later than the scheduled time. So but it made up his it made up the time. So that means it reached on time. So the difference between the two times is 30 minutes. Do you understand? So that means it is half an hour, isn't it? Originally it would have reached taken so many hours, but because it started 30 minutes late, so it has increased the speed by this x plus 250 and it reached on time. So the difference of these two will be 30 minutes or half an hour. So it implies according to question condition of the question, or according to question 1500 upon x minus 1500 upon x plus 250 is equal to 30 minutes, but 30 minutes means half an hour, right? Now again we'll have to simplify. So this implies 1500 into x plus 250 minus 1500x whole upon x into x plus 250 is equal to half, right? So this implies 1500x plus, now 1500 into 250, that is 1500 into 250. So let us keep this 0. 25 zeros is 0, 25 zeros 0, 25 fives are 125. So 5, 12 carried over, 25 ones are 25 plus 12 will be 37. Okay, so 375000 minus 1500x is equal to, this will upon, let me write first, x into x plus 250, okay, is equal to half, right? Now this 1500x and this 1500x gets cancelled, so it implies 375000 is equal to, this will go that side, so x into x plus 250 upon 2. Now this 2 will come this side, so it will multiply. So 2 zeros 0, 2 zeros 0, 2 zeros 0, 2 fives are 10, 1 carried over, 2 sevens are 14 plus 1 15, 1 carried over, 2 threes are 6 plus 1 7. That is equal to x square plus 250x. So if you take this also on the other side, it will become x square plus 250x minus 7,50,000. That is 750 and then 000 is equal to 0. So now nothing can be simplified. Nothing can be divided by, because x square coefficient is 1. So now we have to find out the factors of 750 000. So this can be written as 750 into 1000. Okay. Wow. And what is the difference between these two? 250. So now we got it as x square plus 1000x minus 750x minus 750 000 is equal to 0, right? So this implies, take out x common, x plus 1000 minus 750 you take out common, x plus 1000 is equal to 0. So this implies x plus 1000, if you take out common, x minus 750 is equal to 0. So this implies either x plus 1000 is equal to 0 or x minus 750 is equal to 0. Okay, so now if x plus 1000 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to minus 1000, which is not possible. Why? Because x is what we have assumed, original speed of this plane, which cannot be minus, negative. So if x minus 750 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 750. So this is the answer. So therefore usual speed of the plane is equal to 750 kilometer per hour. That is the answer. Okay, is that clear? So now I hope you are getting an idea. Now let me do a question involving age. Okay, or before going to age sums, let me do another board question which I can see here. That is, it came in the year 2003. Let me do that first, then I will go to age questions. There are some questions called age questions which are also very important type. Okay, so now the next question, which is a board question, question 2. This came in the year 2003. Okay, the question says, in an auditorium, seats were arranged in rows and columns. The number of rows was equal to the number of seats in each row. Okay, when the number of rows was doubled, and the number of seats in each row and the number of seats in each row was reduced by 10, the total number of seats increased by 300. Find 1. The number of rows in the original arrangement, and second, the number of seats in the auditorium after rearrangement. Okay. Now, first of all, the number of rows in the auditorium were same as the number of seats in each row. Okay. So, first of all, this means what? Just an example I am giving. If there are 3 rows, okay, if there are 3 rows, means say first row, second row, third row, then there are 3 rows, then the number of seats in each row also is 3. That means the number of rows is equal to number of seats in each row. So in that case, what will be the total number of seats? 9. That is 3 into 3. So this just I gave an example for you to understand, a small example. So now in this case, let the number of rows be x. So this implied the number of seats in each row is also x. That is how it was in the beginning. Okay. So total number of seats will be total number of seats will be x into x, that is x square, like how it was 3 into 3, here it is x into x, because there are x rows and x seats in each row. So total number of seats will be x square. Now in the second case, the number of rows is doubled. So number of rows is 2x. Earlier it was x, so now it is double 2x. Now, and number of seats is reduced by 10 in each row. So number of seats in each row is equal to x minus 10. Earlier number of seats in each row was x. Now 10 seats are reduced in each row. So in each row number of seats is x minus 10. So in that case, total number of seats will be 2x into x minus 10. Okay. Now this is the number of seats in the second case. Now, but what is the condition given in the question thing? In the second case, when it was rows were in doubled and seats were reduced by 10 in each row, the total number of seats increased by 300. Okay. So this total number of seats increased by 300. So that means total number of seats is this. And earlier the total number of seats was this. So it got, this is 300 more than this, right? So that means, or this is equal to this plus 300, or that means what? These seats, these are 300 more than this, right? So you can say 2x into x minus 10 is equal to x square plus 300. Okay. Or you can say that the difference of these two is 300. So 2x into x minus 10 minus x square is equal to 300, right? And got increased by, number of seats got increased by 300. So now this implies 2x into x is 2x square minus 2x into 10, that is 20x, minus x square is equal to 300. So this implies 2x square minus x square. So x square minus 20x minus 300 is equal to 0, right? So now, so the equation is x square minus 20x minus 300 is equal to 0. So now 300, so the factors are 30 into 10. So minus 30 plus 10 will give you minus 20, and minus 30 into 10 will give you minus 300. So this implies x square minus 30x plus 10x minus 300 is equal to 0. So this implies, take out x common, x minus 30 plus 10, if you take out common, x minus 30 is equal to 0. So this implies x minus 30 into x plus 10 is equal to 0. So now this implies either x minus 30 is equal to 0 or x plus 10 is equal to 0. Now if x minus 30 is equal to 0, it implies x is equal to 30. Now if x plus 10 is equal to 0, which implies x is equal to minus 10. This is not possible. Okay. So therefore the x is equal to 30 is the answer. So the first answer, that is number of rows in the original arrangement is equal to 30. Now they want number of seats after rearrangement. So now number of seats after rearrangement is what? Number of seats after rearrangement, that is in the second case. This is the number of seats in the after rearrangement, isn't it? So we can substitute the value, that is by substitute the value of x. Number of seats will be doubled, so 2x, that is 2. Number of seats in the original arrangement is 30, number of rows, and now number of seats after rearrangement. After rearrangement will be number of seats after rearrangement. What did we get? We got number of seats after rearrangement as 2x into x minus 10. So 2x into x minus 10. So that implies 2 into 30 into 30 minus 10. Okay, this implies 60 into 30 minus 10 is 20. So implies 6 2s are 12, 0 0. So 1200 is the answer 2. That is number of seats after the rearrangement. Number of rows in the original arrangement 30. This is your answer 1. And number of seats after rearrangement is 1200. This is your answer 2. Okay. Now let me do one type of age question. Okay. So question 3. 2 years ago, a man's age was 3 times the square of his son's age. In 3 years' time, his age will be 4 times his son's age. Find their present ages. Now, here in this question, 2 years ago a man's age was 3 times the square of his son's age. So, we have to assume his son's age 2 years ago be x years. That is, let the son's age 2 years ago be x years, right? Now, then man's age, according to question, man's age man's age will be 3 times the square of his son's age. So man's age will be 3x square years. Agreed? 3 times the square of the son's age. Okay. Now, so son's present age will be x plus 2 years. Why? Because 2 years ago he was x years. So present age will be x plus 2 years. Right? Now, man's age will be man's present age will be 3x square plus 2 years, because 2 years ago the man was 3x square years. Now, in 3 years means after 3 years. Okay. After 3 years, what will be son's age? Son's age will be, son's present age is x plus 2. So, x plus 2 plus 3, that is equal to x plus 5 years. And father's house, man's age will be 3x square plus 2 plus 3, that is equal to 3x square plus 5 years. Agreed? Now, according to the condition, what is the condition given? Man's age will be 4 times son's age. So, according to the question, this is man's age, that is 3x square plus 5. This will be 4 times son's age, that is x plus 5. Right? So, if you simplify, it becomes 3x square plus 5 is equal to 4x plus 20. So, this implies 3x square plus 5 minus 4x minus 20 is equal to 0. So, this implies 3x square minus 4x minus 15 is equal to 0. Right? So, here coefficient of x square is 3. So, the product we have to take as minus 15 into 3. Okay? And we have to find out the factors whose sum becomes minus 4. Okay? So, let us write this. Factors of 15 will be 5 into 3 and this 3. Yes. Now 3 into 3 is 9. 9 into 5 and their difference is 4. So minus 9 plus 5 will give us minus 4 and the product will be minus 15. So 3x square minus 9x plus 5x minus 15 is equal to 0. So, if you take out 3x common, so it will be x minus 3, and if you take out common 5, x minus 3 will be 0. So, this implies x minus 3 into 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, so this implies either x minus 3 is equal to 0, or 3x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now if x minus 3 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 3. Now here if 3x plus 5 is equal to 0 implies 3x is equal to minus 5 implies x is equal to minus 5 upon 3. Not possible because age cannot be negative, right? So therefore x is equal to 3. So sun's present age is x plus 2, isn't it? Because this x we assumed as sun's age 2 years ago. Sun's age 2 years ago is x. So sun's present age is x plus 2 and man's present age. So we have to substitute the value of x in these two. So sun's present age is equal to x plus 2, which implies sun's present age is equal to 3 plus 2, that is 5 years. That is one answer. And man's present age is 3x square plus 2. So implies man's present age is equal to 3 into our x is 3, so 3 square plus 2, that is 3 into 9 plus 2, so that is 27 plus 2, that is 29 years. So this is implies man's present age is 29 years. Answer. Okay, do you follow? Now let me do another question. Okay, suppose now the next question, say question number 4. The sum of the squares of two consecutive natural numbers is 41. Find the numbers. Okay, now let the two consecutive natural numbers be x and x plus 1. Why? Because natural numbers always differ by 1. That is 3 and 2 are two consecutive natural numbers. So 2 plus 1 will give you 3. That is the next consecutive natural number. Similarly, if you consider 3 and 4, 3 plus 1 is the next consecutive number. So if x is one natural number, then the next consecutive number will be x plus 1. Now the sum of the squares of two consecutive natural numbers is 41. So according to question, the sum of the squares, so x square plus x plus 1 whole square, that is equal to 41. So implies x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 41. I have applied a plus b whole square formula to this. Okay, so this implies 2x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 41 is equal to 0. So this implies 2x square plus 2x minus 40 is equal to 0. So now dividing throughout by 2, we get x square plus x minus 20 is equal to 0. So now the factors of 20 are 5 fours are 20, and we have to get the product as minus and the sum as 1. So it has to be plus 5 and minus 4. So implies x square plus 5x minus 4x minus 20 is equal to 0. So this implies x if you take out common x plus 5 minus 4 if you take out common x plus 5 is equal to 0. So this implies x plus 5 to x minus 4 is equal to 0. So this implies either x plus 5 is equal to 0 or x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now if x plus 5 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to minus 5. Not possible because natural numbers cannot be negative. So x minus 4 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 4. So the two natural numbers are the two natural numbers are 4 and 5, right? Now the next question. Next question, that is question 5. The denominator of a positive fraction is 1 more than twice the numerator if the sum of the fraction and its reciprocal is, if the sum of the fraction and its reciprocal is 2.9, find the fraction. Okay, so now let us assume the numerator as x. Okay, so let the numerator be x, then denominator is, the denominator is 1 more than twice the numerator, that means 2x plus 1, right? Now the fraction will become, the fraction is x upon 2x plus 1. Now its reciprocal will be, its reciprocal will be 2x plus 1 upon 2. Sorry, 2x plus upon x. 2x plus 1 upon x. This would be the reciprocal. Now according to question, if the sum of the fraction and its reciprocal is 2.9. So that means the sum of the fraction and the reciprocal, according to question, x upon 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 1 upon x is equal to 2.9. Sum of the fraction and its reciprocal is 2.9. So now let us solve it. So if you cross multiply, it will be x square plus 2x plus 1 whole square upon x into 2x plus 1 is equal to 2.9. Okay, so this implies x square plus, if you apply a plus b whole square, it will become 4x square plus 2 into 2x into 1, that is 4x plus 1 square is 1 upon 2x square plus x is equal to 2.9, right? So this implies x square plus 4x square is 5x square plus 4x plus 1 is equal to 2.9 into 2x square plus x, right? So this implies 5x square plus 4x plus 1 is equal to 2.9 into 2, that is 2 nines are 18, 1 carried over, 2 twos are 4 and 1 5. So 5.8 x square plus this is 2.9x, right? So now this implies 5x square minus 5.8 x square plus 4x minus 2.9x plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies minus 0.8 x square plus 4 minus 2.9. So it will be 4 minus 2.9. So it's 4.0. So 10 minus 9, 1. This will become 3. 3 minus 2, 1. So 1.1. So plus 1.1x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. So now throughout, if you multiply by minus, first of all, if you multiply by minus 1, so this negative sign will go away. And then let us first remove the negative sign. So multiplying by minus 1. Okay. What do we get? 0.8x square minus 1.1x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now if you multiply throughout by 10, the decimal will go. So multiplying by 10, we get 8x square minus 11x minus 10 is equal to 0, right? So our product is minus 10 into 8, right? So now the factors are, let me see what we can do. This can be split up as 2 into 5 and this can be split up as 4 into 2. Okay, we want 11. So now 11 means, say 4 twos are 8, 8 twos are 16, 16 into 5 will be 11, right? So 16 into 5. But we must get minus 11, so minus 16 plus 5. Okay, so this implies 8x square minus 16x plus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, so this implies 8x, if you take out common, x minus 2 plus this is 5x, sorry. So 5, if you take out common, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So this implies x minus 2 into 8x plus 5 is equal to 0. So it implies either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or 8x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now if x minus 2 is equal to 0 implies x is equal to 2, whereas if 8x plus 5 is equal to 0 implies 8x is equal to minus 5, implies x is equal to minus 5 upon 8. This is not possible because the fraction is given as positive fraction. So therefore x is equal to 2. So the fraction will be implies fraction. What is the fraction? The fraction is x upon 2x plus 1. You remember here we got the fraction as fraction is x upon 2x plus 1. So now we will substitute the value of x in it. So this becomes x is 2 upon 2 into 2, that is 4, plus 1, that is 2 upon 5. So therefore the fraction is 2 upon 5 answer. Okay. Now let me stop here, children. You start solving the questions that are given in your workbook, and if you have any doubt you ask me. Okay. Thank you for watching.